Hello, kids. Happy Friday. I'm just going to quickly go over what your assignments will be for today's class. As you can see, we are not going to meet live in Google Meets. You guys are just going to watch this video, and then there are two activities I'd like you to complete. Both of them should take about the same amount of time as class would actually take. So we have two objectives for today. The first is to activate your prior knowledge and assess what your current knowledge level is of the geography of the world continents and oceans. So you guys will be doing an IXL activity, which I'll show you how to complete that in just a second. You'll also be completing the module Getting Started in World History. This is in the folder Getting Started in World History. So if you scroll down, find the folder Getting Started in World History, you should see it right under the Google Docs scavenger hunt. You'll click on that, and here we go. You're just going to read through. It basically gives you an overview of our course. So some of the material, what some of the assignments will look like. So it is 20 pages, but most of the pages are super short. And it goes through what the structure of the course is like, different activities, materials. When you see things in the orange font, you can click on those. Those are different resources that you guys can utilize to help you throughout the course. So some of these are like note-taking charts. The online textbook is on one of these pages. The unit companion, that kind of gives you an overview of what each semester will be covering in this class. Again, lesson taking organizer, how to create appropriate citations. We'll actually be using MLA, not APA, but I'll go over that later on. Assessments, rubrics for different projects, things like that. And then there's the online textbook. So check that out. I won't make you do any super long online textbook readings, but the vocab glossary is in there. There's a few good resources. So we'll be occasionally using it, so just make sure you can access it there. Towards the end of this module, let me skip through a little bit. The last 6 pages are all questions. Now, a few of these are just personal answers, so there's no right or wrong answer. So I'm just going to say, I take good notes. You're going to want to check your answer, then it'll give you some information. You can't move on to the next page unless you answered the question. Some of these, again, are personal to you, so I'm just going to click through. One more. Great. Then some of these are review questions for the material you just read about. So these ones, they do have right or wrong answers. Don't stress about it. This assignment is just for completion, but definitely make sure that you can answer the questions because this assignment is going over some really important information for our course. So that's one of the assignments you have to do. The other one is IXL. Now, if we go back here to the agenda for today, there's a link next to number 3 that says complete the following activity, identifying continents and oceans. When you click on that link, it will open up this page in IXL. You guys should have received an email with your login information for IXL. Your username should be your student ID number at Pinnacle Charter, and then your password is something unique. It's not going to be the same password that you use for Pearson or Gmail. So again, you should have received an email with this information. If you did not, I do have a way of looking up your login info, so you'll just need to shoot me an email if you can't get in. Once you get in, it's going to say get started. You're going to start basically the activity. There's 3 stages. You're going to want to make sure that you complete all 3 stages to get credit for completing this. This is just to show me what your baseline knowledge is of the geography of world continents and oceans. Don't worry about like trying to get all the right answers because that's not really going to tell me where your knowledge level is currently at. So just try your best. Once you collect 12 tokens, which is answering 12 questions correctly, it'll move you on to the next stage. I also don't care about the time elapsed. This will be the time it'll take you to do this will vary student to student. Some of you might know your geography super, super well, and you're going to find this easy and you'll be able to click through it really fast. Some of you, this might be newer information or information that isn't as familiar to you, so it might be a little bit tougher and take you a little bit longer. That's okay. I don't anticipate this to take anyone more than like 25 to 30 minutes, but people who are pretty quick at it can probably do it in like 10 to 15. So for example, the first question is saying, which ocean is highlighted? So I see the blue here, and I know it's the Indian Ocean. So I'm going to click that and submit. So it'll tell you if you got it right or wrong. Then you'll see over here, because I answered it right, it marks that off as collecting a token. So I correctly identified the Indian Ocean. So as you can see, this one's like the Arctic Ocean. So I'm not going to get a token for that until I identify that correctly. So let's do this next one. That I know is Africa. So I'm going to submit. Wonderful. Okay, let's see what happens when I get one wrong. So of course, I know this is North America, but maybe I forgot and I thought that was Europe. So I'm going to click on Europe and hit submit. And it'll say, sorry, incorrect. Then you can say, got it, understood. And then it'll just move on to the next question. So you're not going to be able to complete the stage until you collect your 12 tokens. Again, it's 3 stages. Each stage is going to look a little bit different. So I know stage 3, you have to type in the name of the continent. So it's also going to challenge your memory and your spelling. Again, this is to just give me a baseline piece of data to see where your knowledge is at. So please don't look at like a map on your phone or look at a globe. I really want to see where your knowledge is at currently so I can figure out what we need to do this year. So at the end of the year, you could easily name everything on here. So those are your 2 assignments that I'm going to have you work on during Friday's class. So again, there's going to be no Google Meet. You're going to complete the IXL module. Then you're also going to complete the Getting Started in World History module. Depending on how fast you work, some of you, this might take 30 minutes. Some of you, it might take an hour. It shouldn't take people, in theory, more than an hour to get through everything. But again, just work at your own pace. That's kind of why I'm setting up Friday like this. And probably most Fridays online, I will just be giving you a video explanation of the assignment, and then you'll be able to work independently. And then if you need help, you'll be able to reach me over email. Just because it's the first week, don't really feel like we need office hours. Those will officially start next week. But again, you can email me during school hours if you need help. Also, just a reminder, many of you have already done this, but those of you who haven't, make sure your student survey is submitted. Again, that's going to need to be sent through Classroom just because of the Pearson platform. So make sure you do it over there. The Google Docs scavenger hunt, most people have been able to submit through Pearson, and they've just included the scavenger hunt as a link in a submission comment. If you are struggling with that for whatever reason, feel free to submit through Classroom as well. That's why I have that platform there. But if you are able to mark it as complete in Pearson, that just helps me out in terms of transferring grades from Classroom to Pearson, because Pearson's where you're going to see your gradebook updated. Okay, that was a ton of information. I hope you guys do well with this. I'm sure you will. Again, reach out if you have questions. Monday is Labor Day, so we're not going to have class or anything on Monday. But I will be sending out an email with the schedule for Tuesday of next week. It'll look similar to this week. Groups 1 through 3 on Tuesday, 4 through 6 on Thursday. All right, take care.